Good morning, everyone. Now I will present my proposal study on students' readiness and limited face-to-face practice teaching. So now I will call all my researchers. They are called Dr. Rehold J. Demel, Dr. Menard O. Comesalia, Dr. Jubilin M. Cantina, Dr. Joji T. Ricamara, Miss April is Patay. So now, our background of my study. We have the this designated school personnel at screening are for filling health declaration forms and using of logbooks for contract tracing. And we have actual scenarios in different pilot schools trained for face-to-face classes. And we have the requirements depending on the type of activity. So we have the triad and screening and caring for suspected confirmed cases and transporting. And we have the protect measures, hygienes and sanitations, practices and respiratory etiquette. So now for our framework of the study, we have the framework for participant satisfaction and face-to-face higher education courses. So for participant satisfaction, we have satisfaction factors. We have 4, and the face-to-face higher education courses, we have 2, self-direction and readiness factors. For the self-direction and readiness factors, we have 5. Technology-related experience with face-to-face collaborative environments, experience with face-to-face courses, confidence with the face-to-face learning environment, and age. And for my statement of the problem, in this statement in an interesting article, Kotchenke, Aragon, and Bartlett, 2002, asserted that self-directed learning readiness is a factor in students' eligibility for face-to-face human resource development courses offered at the University of Jose Rizal Memorial State at the Pitan City. For significance of the study, education that takes place completely face-to-face is increasingly attractive to students, instructors, and educational institutions for a variety of reasons. So, for my limitations, there are 3 limitations where circumstances which might adversely influence in the results or generalizability of the research. And for the definition, we have the 5. The key terms are defined here for the purpose of clarification. So, there are 5. And for the chapter 2, we have the studies on quality related to face-to-face learning environment, studies on satisfaction related to the face-to-face learning environment, readiness based on learner self-direction, studies on readiness face-to-face learning, and early conceptualization. So they are called the review of the literature. And for the definitions of the review related literature, we have the 5 of key terms: face-to-face collaborative environments, comfort, confidence, face-to-face course, and satisfaction.
Good day, everyone. My name is Priljoy A. Mangubat. Chapter 3, Research Methodology. This chapter discusses the research method used, the research setting, respondents of the study, and sampling techniques used. This also includes the research instrument, data gathering procedure, and the statistical treatment of the data gathered. Research method. This research used the descriptive survey method of research. For this is the most appropriate means of evaluating the student readiness in limited face-to-face practice teaching and its relation to the academic performance in GRMSU College. Research environment. This study will be conducted at GRMSU Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte. It is public school institution located in GRMSU Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte, and about 250 meters away the National Highway. In line with the other interview conducted in implementation of limited face-to-face classes in select low-race country. The Department of Education and the Department of Health have identified mechanisms to ensure safely of practicing learners, teaching, and non-teaching staff in the families. The adoption of the limited face-to-face classes comes as response to the monitoring and assessment of DepEd on the distance learning delivery modalities. During the height of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the success of the current mitigating measures and the anticipated rollout of the Philippine National Deployment and Vaccinated Plan for COVID-19 vaccines. The proposed limited face-to-face classes will serve as mechanism to access the viability of the self-reopening of school in low-risk areas, identify strategies of resources, requirements for the effective and efficient transition of learners from distant learning to expanded face-to-face classes. Due to the limited allotted for face-to-face learning, some students said they barely had enough opportunities to make clarification on the lessons. They said that there were also learners who cannot clearly see what written on the board due to the physical distancing, while others cannot clearly hear that the teacher is saying because of face masks and the barriers. Some learners reported that they do not have enough learning materials. Aside from this, teachers also shared the other challenges encountered by learners that included difficulty of talking due to the face mask and face shield, hard time viewing boards because of barriers, and the tendency to remove their face masks during classes, especially among first year and second year students. Learners hardly finish the activities given by the teacher. The teachers there expressed concern about the limited time to accommodate all the learning concerns by learners. Some teachers also reported that they have limited teaching and learning resources. Teachers also raised concerns on the unreadiness learners in face-to-face learning. They also experience challenges in paying attention to learners in face-to-face and modular delivery modalities. In the concern, researchers want to conduct the study to determine the readiness of the teachers, students, principal, and the parent in the implementation of limited face-to-face classes in College School of Jose Rizal Memorial State University College School, Poblacion, Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte. Respondent of the study. The respondent of the study was the teacher, students, principal, and the parents of the GRMSU College School in Poblacion, Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte. The respondent was chosen through purposive sampling.